Watch what's approaching, the supreme moment. Reality striking closer than it seems, don't it? Go ahead, it's for the taking if you want it. If not, the dream dies and you'll be forever haunted. Then confront it.
What's good? I haven't had a chance to test out the new agility trunks in my unit because of all the stuff going on with the 5-year anniversary and finally catching up on some of the content, but I definitely did want to cover this unit because it is very, very good given the certain criteria and circumstances the unit falls into in terms of like scenarios. So I definitely did want to cover it because it is a very good unit, and I picked up a couple copies. So of course, given the built-in skill sets for this unit, I definitely did want to test it out on Super Battle Road with the Future Saga stage, category stage. So let's go ahead and get started with the skill sets and stats. So again, this is the Super Agility, Super Saiyan Future Trunks, and Future Mai unit. Leader skills, join forces, category key +3, HP attack and defense increase of 120%, and then agility type key +3, HP attack and defense increase of 70%. For the super attack, you're looking at greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn and causes supreme damage to enemy. And the passive skill is actually very good given the certain parameters that you fulfill. Attack and defense increase of 100%. Key +3 plus an additional attack and defense increase of 100% when there's an ally whose name includes Super Saiyan God SS on the team, plus an additional attack increase of 100% when there is a Future Saga category enemy, plus an additional key +3, attack plus 100%, and performs a critical hit when there's an enemy whose name includes Zamasu or Goku Black. So with all those given criterias, I did pretty much go with as much of a compatible team as possible. I did not include the Super Saiyan God SS unit on the team because honestly, when I was building the team, I wanted an overall balance. So that parameter of 100% increase, you're not going to necessarily see attack and defense increase 100%, but everything else is pretty much applicable to where you do see those passives active. Now, in terms of the active skill, which this unit does have, raises attack by 628% temporarily and performs a critical hit. Stuns enemy and halves own defense within same turn. Can be activated when your team has an ally whose name includes Future Teen Trunks, Future Trunks, or Future Mai attacking in the same turn. Self-excluded starting from the 3rd turn from the start of battle. So that is very, very beneficial to have when you're in a Super Battle Road setting. Now, in terms of links, you're looking at Brainiacs, that is 10% to attack and defense. Cold Judgment is defense increase of 20%. Courage is key +1. Dismal Future is key +1. Prepare for Battle, key +2. Rival Duo, attack increase of 10%. Attacked enemies, defense minus 10%. And finally, Fierce Battle is 15% to attack. This unit does fall into 4 categories: Future Saga, Time Travelers, Join Forces, and Last Resort. And then for the 100% potential stats, you're looking at 12,330 for HP, attack is 14,002, and defense is 11,055, so pretty good overall stats as well. And finally, the 12 key multiplier is 140%. So again, I didn't include a Super Saiyan God SS unit on the team, but it's okay because overall it works out pretty well. I did I had a tendency of linking this unit up with the strength Trunks in my unit because they do pair up pretty well. And the strength counterpart LR version does have pretty good skill sets based on the criteria and setting within the Future Saga category stage of Super Battle Road. So that unit does have like a medium chance of stunning the enemy with the 12 key super attack, and then for the 18 key high chance of stunning the enemy. So that is very beneficial to have as well. On top of that, you have a high chance of evading enemy attacks, including super attacks when there's a Future Saga category enemy. So of course, this is a very prime battle scenario for that type of skill set to activate on a frequent basis. So the other units included, like the Future Gohan unit obviously does pretty well against Android type enemies. The Tech Super Saiyan Future Trunks is also a good one against androids or cell type enemies based on getting a boost and whatever. So yeah, I mean, this team is very, very fluid. It works out really well. Again, the strength LR Trunks and Mai links up very well with the agility version. A lot of links shared between the 2 units, and individually both of them have very unique and helpful skill sets that really complement each other on the rotation. So I did tend to keep them on the same rotation a lot of parts. And given the scenario, I did break them up here and there, but for the most part, they are linked up together. And then the offsetting rotation, you would have the transforming Trunks, who's able to stack up attack and defense per battle, and then Future Gohan is also a pretty good unit with the skill sets in terms of having like the Master and Pupils category allies on rotation and stuff like that. Ability to transform also, because you do have a Future Trunks unit on the team as well, so it definitely makes things a little bit easier. And the guy does attack. I think he raises attack based on the super attack after the transformation too. So, and like built-in additional or criticals, I can't remember 100% what the exact skill sets for the passive was, but yeah, this is not even though you're not including a Super Saiyan God SS unit on the team, this team overall still does pretty well, and the agility Trunks and Mai unit still performs very well without that secondary attack and defense increase of 100%. The unit's actually doing pretty good. Given, if you did activate the 100%, that would be a pretty big boost overall, but without it, the unit still does fine, I think, in my opinion. So you don't necessarily have to force it on the team if you feel like. Basically, to summarize it, I ran into key issues, I guess, because of these certain units I wanted to include. Now with the brand new LR Vegito Blue unit, I think that'll be a pretty good setup, because this unit does fall into the last resort category. So if you went with an inclusion of LR Vegito Blue, I think the key issues aren't as rampant as they are, for example, like within this team structure. If I included the Tech Vegito Blue, the unit tended to not link well with the rest of the team because of the key link setup. The thing that hurts that unit, I think, the most is prepare for battle. The missing that key link alone allows but basically restricts the key links with the other units. Now, if I included another character that had, for example, Over in a Flash, I think things would have been a lot easier. But because of the way I wanted to set up the rotations, honestly, it was better off excluding any unit like that. So that's pretty much where my head was at, when in terms of team building, and honestly, it's performing just fine in my opinion. So again, these guys are specifically built to benefit each other in terms of this specific category stage of Super Battle Road. So, of course, you can play around with the team and include different units and go with a different approach. Again, you can honestly go with a last resort setup with double Tech Vegito Blue leads and include this agility Trunks in my unit as well. But again, for my own purposes, I think it was better off going with this approach because of the overall flow of the team itself and whatever. So it works out. I mean, it worked out well. Now on this one, I thought about giving it to the Strength LR Trunks and Mai, but since it is primarily highlighted for the agility version, I decided to just give that unit the Dokkan mode, and it's honestly okay because the Goku Black unit is a strength type with type disadvantage. So basically my focus on this part was to eliminate Goku Black first, if I'm able to, and then have the physical LR Future Trunks attack the Zamasu unit, which is an intelligent type. So again, the stunning abilities for the strength version, very beneficial to have because you're not necessarily restricted in Super Battle Road settings where bosses or enemies are immune to that. So it is a little bit of a different scenario when you're going through other type battle settings like the typical Dokkan events where they're immune, or even the legendary Goku event, stuff like that. But in this case, it definitely makes sense to include them on the team, and that's one of the reasons why I didn't go with the last resort category setup, is because the Strength LR Trunks and Mai doesn't fall into that category. So again, we're going to focus on Goku Black here, but also have LR Future Trunks attack the Zamasu unit, because pretty much you can eliminate a lot of the HP just from that unit alone. It definitely made things a lot easier with the setup. I think just by including the agility Trunks in my unit, it definitely made things a hell of a lot easier compared to some of the previous other setups, and that should really tell you how beneficial it is. I think the active skill, having that added in to the unit's skill sets, really does make it a very worthwhile unit to include on a team, especially with this type of setting. Alright, so a little bit of HP left over for Zamasu, so we'll probably, I don't know, we'll go ahead and use the active skill on, I think it was against Zamasu, pretty much just eliminate him out of the picture, and then that way we'll have type advantage with the first couple of attacks coming up from Goku Black, and pretty much we're good to go at that point. So again, they're technically missing the 100% boost for attack and defense based on, you know, the criteria for including a Super Saiyan God SS unit, but as you can see, they've still performed pretty well. Now, if you did include a unit like that, obviously they would be much more higher in capacity, but 2 million attack stats, you can't really top that. That's good enough in my opinion. So for me, it's all about balance. So this is pretty much the showcase of the Agility Trunks and My unit. Hopefully you enjoyed the video as always. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.